Live from U Place Apartments here in Morgantown, we are back with another Mountaineer Esports live stream for you guys. We have our Lotus roster in their 5th round of Swift play here in Varsity Plus, taking on the Jamestown Jimmies.
Yeah, this Jamestown team consists of Creed, Sown Arrow, and Xander. And this Lotus team, in their 5th game, it's going to be Hira, Emmy, and Duffy. They've gelled well so far, only losing 1 game to FIU, which was last week.
They lost the end that probably should have won. Watching back on that's one that they definitely like to get back. Both of these teams currently sitting at 3-1. Jamestown lost their very first match in Swiss bracket 2 weeks ago. So Mountaineers looking for a bounce back. Hopefully another starting off 1-0, maybe another 2-0 Tuesday here for them. There has been an update. We will not be streaming main roster today. There was a reschedule there, so we will just have Lotus 7 p.m., Lotus 9 p.m. And we will let you guys know their 9 p.m. opponent once we get that in hopefully a little bit over an hour. But now, as I said, Jimmy's Rocket League, a great name. Both teams 3-1, as I said. Lotus coming off their first loss last week against FIU. It was an up and down game for sure, but now they're looking to bounce back. Emma here and Duffy, we know they're always going to be ready. We should be getting into it in just a few seconds. So before we get into that, do we want to run some predictions?
I think this is going to be a 2-0 sweep. I think this. You look at these rosters and how they've performed so far. The Mountaineers are unlucky to be 3-1. They should be 4-0. They lost a tough game to FIU where they were the better team. They just didn't show it. And they will be coming into this game with a little just spark together after getting that win in their last game last week.
Yeah, there's another little weird thing about Swiss play. If you guys don't know how Swiss play works, is that everyone can play everyone in Swiss play, and everyone at the very start will play another team pretty much at random. And then going on, you always play a team with your exact same record. So I think while both of these teams are 3-1, it matters when you lose. And I'll explain that by saying if you lose your first game, your second game is going to be against an 0-1 team. A team that probably isn't very good. And they're going to play a 1-1 team, another team that probably isn't very good. The Mountaineers started off 2-0. Then they played FIU, who's also 2-0 at the time, one of the better teams in all of Varsity Plus. And then they played another 2-1 team against Huntington, not very good at all, beat 2-0. So I do think that while these records are similar, I think if you take in the caliber of opponent and also the loss timing, which is strangely very important in Swiss play, I do think these teams are not very evenly matched. I do think Lotus is going to be able to bounce back here, get a quick 2-0 victory.
Yeah, this Lotus team, obviously losing that tough game last week, I believe they will come out with their just beat this team that we haven't seen yet. Obviously, we've seen
the Jamestown Jimmies. Haven't seen any of them.
We haven't seen any of Jamestown, but with this Lotus team, we're gonna see them come out fiery. I would expect them to come out and score at least 2 goals in the opening minute.
Wow, bold prediction. Certainly, but I do like. I mean, the offensive out for this team at times can be very, very scary. I think they beat a team 8-0 earlier on in the in Varsity Plus, so we know that they can score a lot of goals. Emma and Hira have just kind of had this connection they've been building up over for the past 4 semesters. So I mean, I think you definitely could be right. I think we might see a very early goal. The only thing I'm really worried about with this team is if they come into this game and they're a little bit overconfident, let a couple easy goals in, which we've seen them do a couple times this semester. But I think if they can clean that up, this should be a pretty easy route here for the Mountaineers. And I believe we are going to head to it in just a second here. So you say 2-0, I say 2-0?
Yeah.
All right. 2-0 it is against the Jamestown Jimmies, not Jamestown, Virginia, in North Dakota.
Yeah, that's didn't know there was going to be a Jamestown, North Dakota. Not the biggest surprise, I guess, because there's probably Jamestown in almost every state.
At least it's not a Texas team. We play 100 Texas teams this semester. I don't think we've ever played a North Dakota team. I don't think so. We play UT Austin, University of Texas, or is it Arlington or it's Arlington? Arlington next week in Val. We'll probably play North Texas another 4 or 5 times this semester. We'll probably play Baylor again in playoffs. We just had the match against University of North Texas on Valorant. That went to 10 overtimes. Still trying to recover from that. So a lot of Texas teams. North Dakota team. Shout out North Dakota. And Prod says that we played North Dakota State actually in Serie A. North Dakota State, sneaky, amazing Division II football team. So,
well, they just took the jump up. North Dakota State. Yeah, they are now going to be in the Mountain West, I believe.
That makes sense. There are a lot of mountains there, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And Sacramento State, I think, is going to be.
I saw that too. That seems so weird.
Yeah, you're going to have Sacramento State traveling to UMass for a game, conference game.
Interesting. Is Sacramento State, were they that good in
Sac State?
Division II?
They're pretty good. They're not a bad team. They're just like, they're not like North Dakota State level.
Seems interesting. Seems like a stark move up. But I mean, Kennesaw State. I've seen Kennesaw State pop up everywhere. They moved to Division I football. We're going to play them in Valorant this year. Kennesaw State's really made a rise. It's kind of like they were like a joke 2 years ago. Now they're like kind of formidable. I think they just won their conference this year in football too.
Yeah, I think they went 10-2 this year.
Yeah, shout out Kennesaw State.
Impressive.
Although we are going to beat you in Valorant later this year, so enjoy by last, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I hope their football continues to grow.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, we will have COD playing Tennessee State, and then Valorant against Maryville. But looks like COD's probably going to be a forfeit. They're playing Tennessee State, as I said, who has forfeited every single game they played this season. So hopefully we get a match, but it's not looking super promising. But then obviously Maryville and Valorant, one of West Virginia's tougher opponents they're going to play all year next to Winthrop. And we are going to head into game one here for the Mountaineers versus the Jamestown Jimmies. And you said you wanted an early goal. How about an early goal in the first 9 seconds? Here, already lighting up the scoreboard. 2 in the first minute is very much possible now. You might have called it.
Yeah, I mean, going in, we knew this Mountaineer team we're going to start off with some fire and some pace. And they score in the first 9 seconds. I think my prediction could actually come true.
Well, 51 seconds. It won't know for sure here at Jamestown. Going to get a good kickoff, though. So we got to reset here, look for a boost. It's going to be here over the middle. Going to get past 1. The Mountaineers now going to go very early. Oh, my goodness. Not even the first minute, the first 17 seconds. Duffy's going to find another one. You might have undersold them.
I underestimated them. I mean, I saw them last week. I've seen them in previous weeks. And I did not expect them to have 2 goals in the first 17 seconds. We could be looking at 4 at this point.
4 in the first minute. I don't know if I've ever seen 4 in the first minute in my entire career at the Mountaineers. So we could see some early game history at the time. For the time it's going to be here right now to try and put this over the middle. They might find another one immediately. Oh my goodness, this might get ugly.
Oh boy, the Mountaineers are off to a fast start, and even the 4-0 now seems like it could be.
4-0 seems definite. I mean, they score every 10 seconds. We might be here for like an hour, just watching goal animations. Hopefully Jamestown can put up a little bit more of a fight, as they're going to have a bit of a chance here. So the ball's going to be taken here, but it's kind of a sloppy touch here. The Mountaineers are going to be able to settle this, and now it's going to be a break, a one-on-one from Duffy. Xander's going to get the touch over to the side. This has to be controlled by Jamestown once again, as here and Emma are both playing a little bit more passways. They're going to try and set up themselves for a counterattack here. Jamestown trying to cut into that deficit, but not quite to be, and looks like Jamestown not going to have a ton of offensive success here. Now here comes the Mountaineers again. Emma over the middle, going to play it off that top, looking for a teammate. Bounced off, and we will pass the 1-minute mark. Only 3 goals, not 6. That's what I was thinking. But Jamestown doing a good job of selling in now and kind of stopping the kind of goal rampage that we saw the Mountaineers put off in those first 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the Mountaineers were really just off to a blazing start. And then they go, at this point, you're getting close to a minute without a goal, which after the start that they had didn't seem very likely.
Yeah, it looks like Jamestown's going to try and find one. It's off the top crossbar. Couldn't quite find it. A little bit unlucky there from the side of the Jimmies. Now it's going to be Hero playing it up the left side, trying to get it clear here. Duffy's going to find something over here, play it back towards the center. And now it has been over a minute before a Mountaineer goal, and Creed's going to try and find something here, but the Mountaineer defense standing pat right now. That it looks like the Mountaineers are kind of content with, playing a little bit more defensively, just trying to drown out this clock. They do already have a 3-goal lead. They obviously don't need to, kind of put on a ton of offensive pressure. Looks like they're kind of content with the score right now the way it is.
Yeah, it seems so. They're just playing very defensively now, getting the clears when they can, and launching some counterattacks like they're doing now, getting the ball into the box.
It kind of just seems like the counterattacks are just like, all right, we're going to send one person up and see if you can score in a 1v2 here, and then the other people are going to play defense. As I say that, the demolition comes through, and Emma's able to capitalize. 2 shots in the goal there for Emma already in the first little bit over 2 minutes.
Yeah,
pretty simple there. It's going to kind of be a botched save there, actually, from the side of Jamestown. Now the Mountaineers going to extend the lead to 4 as we approach the halfway point in this game 1.
Yeah, and you called it before the game. Just because they have the same record doesn't mean they're the same caliber of team. We're seeing it now. It's the Mountaineers of 4-0 with 2 minutes 40 remaining. This is just, a demolition.
A buzzsaw right now. This team is looking like Duffy. Over on the left, going to try and add insult to injury here. Win When is the threshold? At what point is a game uncomebackable? Is it 5 goals in the first 2 minutes 30 seconds like the Mountaineers just got?
I mean, I think
Is that the
teams
breaking
come back.
point?
I think, you know, Jamestown probably won't come back, but you've seen teams come back from bigger deficits. I think 6 is probably where you cut it off.
6 is the cutoff mark. Well, the Mountaineers knocking on the door. We just crossed the halfway point. 5-0 goal lead. And now James has just kind of really had nothing going for them. Their attacks have been few and far between, and the Mountaineers have been really sharp on the defensive rotations. That's just a good touch there from here to get past one. Going to try and get past a second. It's actually going to kind of be stalled there over the top of the goal before it finally does drop, and Jamestown's going to try and find something, but it just seems like there's always going to be a blue car there ready to knock it right back towards that orange goal. Here comes a bit of a chance here for Son Arrow over this right side. Gets met there from Emma. Now, 30 seconds from that last goal here is going to try and take the time to reset here. The Mountaineers are very, very content with letting this clock drain out.
Yeah, this Mountaineers team, they're just trying to sit back, not give up any goals at this point. You know, they'll take their chances when they get them, but they have no need to risk any offensive attacks anymore.
They're perfectly fine with just dictating the pace of this game. They're going to play defense when they want to. They're going to try and attack when they want to. Speaking of right now, but now they're just perfectly fine with kind of resetting here, getting their boost back as here we'll pick up the mega and just kind of, you know, letting this clock bleed out. We're under 90 seconds now. This game, one at least, is going to be all but over as Jamestown just kind of looks staggered right now. Here is going to play that over to the right side for Emma. Bouncing over towards the middle. It's going to be met there by Arrow, but what is going to have to be the adjustment here from Jamestown going into the game, too? We saw just the explosion for the Mountaineers. 3 goals in the first 30 seconds before they kind of took their foot off the gas. Get it, because it's a car game. But maybe there one more, but not quite. Off that top right crossbar. Jamestown just has nothing going for him.
Yeah, the only thing Jamestown can do for adjustments in future games is just not let the Mountaineers score 3 goals in the first 30 seconds. You have to keep the Mountaineer offense at bay, especially early on in the game.
And it's so deflating when you give up those early goals. You're excited to get in a game one. You've won 3 of these Swiss rounds in a row. You're up to 3-1, and then all of a sudden 30 seconds have passed and you're already at kind of almost an insurmountable lead. When you kind of like the offensive output is certainly obviously struggling for Jamestown. So giving up 3 goals, what is the offensive ceiling for a team like this? Is like against the Mountaineers? Is it 2 goals, 1 goal? Right now they obviously have 0. They're trying to find something, but it's just not quite going. So you got to think if the Mountaineers can come out and score 3 goals in the first minute of the game, it might just be over.
Yeah, I think for this Jamestown offense, obviously we haven't seen them at their best this game, not scoring any goals. But if they can hold the Mountaineer offense to no goals in the first 2 minutes or so, maybe we can see this Jamestown offense get a goal to take the lead and try to sit back and defend against this relentless Mountaineer attack.
And we've seen teams do that against this Lotus team because obviously they are very high-powered offensively. But honestly, against a team like Lotus, who is very technically gifted, it's kind of hard to just kind of play it back. We've seen teams have more success, when they have a goal lead and it's just constant pressure. They don't really give the Mountaineers a chance to kind of get themselves situated here offensively. I think letting this Mountaineer team just kind of continuously tee off on you could really spell disaster. So I think if you are the Jimmies, and I'm looking back at some of their old their matches right now, even the games that they win, it's 1 goal, 2 goal, maybe 3 goals every now and then, but it's just not a super. I guess they did score 6 against Howard Payne University, so shout out Howard Payne. But it seems like I think the key is, as you said, limit the Mountaineers' offensive output early, and then see if you can get like 1 or 2 goals, and then just make sure that you keep the pressure on and don't let the Mountaineers get comfortable.
Yeah, this Mountaineers team, if they don't, we saw this against FIU, if they aren't getting their goals and taking their leads early, they don't win the game. And
that's pretty perfect for Jamestown, though. Creed is going to find his first goal of the series, the first goal for Jamestown of the series in the first 15 seconds. And now kind of they're in the exact situation that we wanted them to be in. If they're going to try and force a game 3 here, get up early and then put the pressure on. Don't let the Mountaineers get comfortable.
Yeah, and
they have a chance.
If you win the kickoff, it's going to help your offense get an early attack going, and that's exactly what they did, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, the Mountaineers have been pretty good at kickoffs in pretty much all of NACE play so far this season, so it's a really good win there from Jamestown to get on the board early. Emma's going to have to rotate back and try and get us up the right side, but now they're kind of just, and this is what I wanted to see, but that's just going to be wide open goal. That's not what I wanted to see, actually, from Jamestown. in the don'ts list. I feel like,
But that's
the
the-
do and don'ts of Rocket League. Don't leave your goal wide open when you have a 1-goal lead. It's just an overcommitment there. They did, try and put the pressure on, but obviously with, being hyper aggressive, you are going to leave yourselves open on the backside from time to time, and that time they just got completely caught, and the Mountaineers are going to be able to tie this up.
Yeah, and that's the exact opposite thing you want Jamestown to do. You have that early lead, you should sit back, especially against this very talented Mountaineer team. Maybe push when you have the chances. But they didn't have any chance there, and they give up an open net goal.
If I was a Rocket League coach, I would tell them to not do that next time. That's what I would say.
Not leave your net open? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's probably smart. Hira leaving it over to Duffy up this right side. The ball's going to be dangerously kind of bouncing in front of that orange goal for Jamestown, but they are going to be able to get it out. Now it's going to be Hira once again, and now it's going to be the Mountaineers flipping the script, and they're going to be the ones putting that heavy pressure on. Emma's going to be over the middle. Emma's going to find it. Your second goal of the game gives the Mountaineers the lead. It's another open net, though, for the side of Jamestown. Just no one's quick enough to get back in front of their own goal for the side of Jamestown. Someone's going to try and get the contest, but not quite there in time. And now the score has flipped. The lead swaps back to the side of WVU.
Yeah, and this is 2 goals on the game for Emma, 4 on the series. Emma is really just showing out this game, and the series, just being that best player for this Mountaineer offense and just getting the goals when she needs to.
Seems like whenever they need someone to step up and put one in the back of the net, she's always there. Now it's going to be Hira, her co-partner over the middle. It is going to get past 2 Jamestown players, but no one from the Mountaineers is able to kind of find that final touch. And now Emma over the left side again, going to try and win that 50-50 over the middle. It's going to bounce over that Jamestown goal, a little bit dangerous, but there is going to be the rotation there defensively, and it's going to be good stuff there again from Jamestown. They're starting to get a little bit kind of, more confident defensively, but now they are already down a goal, so they're going to have to find something offensively here as well. There's a good chance right now, and there's going to be a great chance, but there's just no one there. Can they find it? Yes, they can. Stone Arrow finds the equalizer here just as the clock dips under that 3-minute mark, and it's another kind of defensive lap from the Mountaineers. Just kind of a whiff there.
Yeah, that's a defensive mistake from the Mountaineers. Duffy just didn't jump up in time to block that shot. I don't know if Duffy didn't know if there was a Jamestown player there on offense, but you gotta make those blocks on defense, and if you don't, you're gonna give up those goals.
And as you said, you're going to give up those goals if you have kind of those mental errors like that, and that's just a half-court shot there from Creed that just no one really touched. The Mountaineers with again up in the air, and now it's 2 really fast goals from Jamestown. And the Mountaineers once again find themselves down. Who is going to play superhero now for this Mountaineer team to get them back in this? But Jamestown has completely come alive here offensively now. They're kind of getting almost whatever they want, and certainly being benefited from a lot of defensive lapses here from the side of the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and their first goal and this now 3rd goal, both of them coming off kickoffs where the Mountaineers make mistakes and they just get an open shot on the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's going to be another open net for the side of Emma's going to have to get back, and she will just in the nick of time. The Mountaineers are really playing with fire now. What we thought was going to be a clean 2-0 sweep now is now looking anything but. It's going to be Emma over the middle. Emma with a double touch, but can't quite find it. Gets deflected at the last second from the Jimmies. Oh my goodness, almost a hat-trick hero there from Emma. Now they're going to have to reset once again. Hira out of boost now, can't really do much with that ball. It's going to go back towards the position of Jamestown.
Yeah, Emma is really trying to be that goal
An open net.
hero.
It's an open net, and Arrow going to find his second goal.
Mistakes on defense leads to another goal for Jamestown. Mountaineers look to be crumbling here. They're going to need 2 goals in 2 minutes, which we've seen them do before. We saw them get 3 goals in the first 30 seconds in last game, but who knows if they can find that offensive production now. It
was the one thing I worried about pregame, was just kind of like these mental errors here and just giving Jamestown too many open nets. And now, as you said, they're going to need 2 goals in the next 2 minutes. It's definitely not impossible for this team, but they've really kind of dug themselves in a hole that we didn't really expect off of that game one. Got to think that there's maybe like a little bit of a mental error there, kind of taking your opponents lightly. But this is Varsity Plus. It's going to be hard to beat any team when you play like this, and now the Mountaineers are going to have to struggle. Now it's going to be 90 seconds here. It still need to find 2 goals, and it looks like Jamestown is just going in complete park the bus mode. They are really just kind of shoving everyone in their own net to try and deny this Mountaineer team any success here. Hira has a good touch here. W loses that 50-50 over, and it's another good chance here for Jamestown. Hira almost, but Emma comes through with the save at the last second. Emma's doing everything for this team right now, and they're going to need her to do a little bit more if they want to find a way to get back in this.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Jamestown needs to do in this situation. You're up by 2 goals. You sit back and defend.
You're up by 1 goal.
But now it's 1 goal.
Now it's 1 goal, and it's just an excellent job there from Juffy. Just leaving it right where Hira can just tap it in. Well played for the Mountaineers. 70 seconds remaining, still down 1. they're going to have to find it. And more importantly, they're going to have to stop themselves from giving Jamestown another free one. But obviously now with a minute left, you might get a little bit more aggressive offensively. You are going to leave yourself a little bit more open. We saw it with Jamestown in that game 1. The Mountaineers kind of were able to capitalize out. Now they have the chance to.
Yeah, we saw this against FIU where the Mountaineers went down against FIU early in the second game and in the third game, and they weren't able to come
what a
back.
shot from Creed. It's a hat trick. Oh my goodness, the Mountaineers, a complete defensive shutdown. Just absolutely nothing going for them. All the mistakes you can possibly make. Duffy just didn't get enough air under his car there. And now it's going to be another 2-goal deficit with 53 seconds left.
Well, the Mountaineers are going to need a great offense, some great offensive production here. Going down 2 with 50 seconds left.
Oh my goodness, Duffy.
If they get that fast goal, it's
I mean,
Duffy.
this almost seems like this is such an interesting game. It seems like the Mountaineers at any point in time can just kind of score easily, but at the same time, they just make these mind-numbing mistakes
Kind of reminds me of
every other
basketball
possession.
game.
It really does.
They're playing great now. They're down 14-15 against Oklahoma State.
And now it's 40 seconds left. The Mountaineers going to try and find one. Emma's going to be over on the up the right side, but here comes Son Arrow, who's been on fire so far this game, and now we are going to approach that 30-second threshold. It's almost to be another goal there for the side of Jamestown, but Duffy this time is going to make the save in front of his own net. Emma now another good save there from the side of the Mountaineers, but now it's just 20 seconds left, and the ball's right in front of their own goal. They're going to have to find a way to get this up the field, but it's going to be Creed over the middle. He already has 3. Is he going to try and find a 4th there? Hero's going to drop it down for Emma, and now the Mountaineers are really in trouble. 10 seconds left. Jamestown just trying to keep the pressure on. Emma's going to put it way up the field. Emma, oh my goodness, it almost goes in off that. It's off the top crossbar. Now the Mountaineers do have a chance. Duffy is going to leave it to the center, and the ball's going to be grounded, and Jamestown are going to take game 2.
That's not what I was expecting after that first game. Mountaineers just collapsed on defense now.
One of the biggest Mountaineer collapses I've ever seen. That was pitiful defensively there from the side of WVU, and now Jamestown just one game away from taking the series.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game 3. Mountaineers dominate game 1, then just fall apart in game 2. We're going to see if Jamestown can keep up their momentum from this game, sit back on defense once they get those leads, and just hold the Mountaineers offense at bay.
I mean, we kind of laid out the game plan for them, and they executed it to a T. Just kind of, take and play with that lead, and don't even really give the Mountaineers a chance. The Mountaineers did take the lead back. It was 2-1 at a point in time, and then it was 3 really quick goals from the side of Jamestown. And now the Mountaineers could be in trouble here, trying to stop themselves from getting their second loss here in Swiss play. It's going to be Duffy over the middle, trying to find another fast one. We see the Mountaineers, how good they are getting off to these hot starts. It's going to be Emma once again.
It's the same time of the first game, getting
It
a goal
certainly
9
is.
seconds in.
9 seconds is all it's going to take this time.
This could be a repeat. You could just go Mountaineers dominate game
I have
1.
no idea what's going to happen in this game.
You never
Absolutely
know.
no idea. Anything could happen at this point. It's been one of the most insane 2-game stretches of Rocket League I've seen in a while. Now it's going to be Hero putting up this right side, trying to get a touch over towards the center. Emma's going to find something. Hero over on this right side, going to be centered back towards Duffy, but the defensive touch comes in for the side of Jamestown. And now kind of this is where Jamestown has struggled in that game 1. It's just kind of this opening pressure from the Mountaineers trying to sustain it, but it looks like they're doing a better job right now. They did let that first one go through, but right now they look a little bit more stable defensively. It's going to be Duffy getting the demolition there onto Xander, and now it's Creed over the middle, but it's just a little bit too slow. Now Emma trying to find something, but it's another touch there from Xander.
Yeah, this Mountaineers offense, they're pushing for a second. Then they're going to, if they get that second, they're going to try to sit back, not give up those easy goals that they did give up
That's a
in
great
that second
save.
game.
It's a great save from Jamestown. We haven't seen a ton of great saves from them, but that one much needed. We are going to pass the 1-minute mark here. The Mountaineers playing with an early lead here, 1-0. Hero up this left side, going to get past 1, going to get past 2 here. Now it's a breakaway. The Mountaineers have numbers over on the left side. The 50-50 is going to come in. The ball's right over the orange net, but there's just no Mountaineers there able to capitalize. Emma going to come in from screaming from the top. Gets the double touch, but just not quite there. A good chance there from the Mountaineers, but nothing quite giving.
And the Mountaineers continue their sustained possession in this Jamestown offensive zone, but the Mountaineers unable to come up with a goal. Jamestown doing a great job defensively so far.
Oh, but that's going to be a really easy goal there. A really good pass there from Emma.
And
just letting that ball right off the wall.
I apologize for cursing Jamestown. The announcer's jinx comes in effect yet again, and the Mountaineers take their 2-0 lead, which is exactly what they needed.
The Mountaineers now up 2-0. We did see them fumble a 1-goal lead, but every time so far this series they've been up 2, they have been able to kind of ride that out home into a victory and really kind of, blow it up. Oh my goodness, but it's an immediate goal there from Xander. And it's, again, it just goes right past 2 Mountaineers. It's another kind of defensive error. Here a little bit too late. Duffy a little bit late as well, and now Jamestown right back in it.
That pretty much got past all 3. They were just not in their right spots, and then it's just in my opinion, it's like a perfect shot, getting it right in the corner, getting it past all the Mountaineer offensive or defensive players.
Old Duffy's just a second late there on that touch. Might have been another goal there for the Mountaineers, but now it's going to be a demolition onto Hira. The respawns come through, then the Mountaineers are able to clear. Now it's going to be Hira back off that demo up this right side, trying to find something. That's a good touch from Duffy to get past one. Can he find a second touch? No, he cannot. The Mountaineers now right back in front of that orange goal where they love to play. It's going to be another miss there from Hira, unfortunately. Duffy's going to try and find something over in the middle. Can he find the double tap? No, he cannot. But now it's going to be Hira off the bounce, but it's just a mistouch there. Not where she wanted to put it. And now the Mountaineers, kind of like some of those errors are coming back again, and Jamestown's going to have a chance here.
Yeah, Jamestown, they're really feeling it defensively, but as I say that, they almost give up a goal. Hira almost got that double touch past them. Hits off the crossbar and the post, I believe, though.
And it seems like kind of the Great Wall of the Jimmies here is kind of erecting itself, so they're going to try and stall these Mountaineers from finding their 3rd goal. They are still 1 bound, so they're going to have to find something here offensively, but they're having a hard time getting the ball out from in front of their own net. There's going to be a clear here for the time being, but Emma's going to have no trouble at all collecting that, but it's going to be a little bit of a mistouch there. It's going to be going to Hanson Jensen for just a second, but it's a good, really good defensive kind of comeback there for the Mountaineers. Duffy's going to have a chance here, and that time it's Jamestown making a little bit of a mishap there on the attempted save, and Duffy is going to find his 2nd goal in a row and put the Mountaineers up 2.
So narrow there, just missing that ball. And 2 Mountaineers did collide going up. When they cleared it, trying to go on attack, they just collided midair. Didn't affect the offense, though, getting their third goal of the game and putting them in a nice lead with 1:45 left.
Yeah, they want to build this lead as much as humanly possible. Emma off the top crossbar. Can she find it? It's going to be a tap in for Emma. Little pass to herself there off the top. And now the Mountaineers are really starting to put it on. It's going to be a 3-goal lead with just over 100 seconds left. Now, barring another defensive collapse, the Mountaineers are going to ride home to a 2-1 victory here in the round 5 of Swiss.
Yeah, this is very similar to what happened in that first game where the Mountaineers came out and just took the lead, never looked back.
Much better showing here in this game 3. I guess game 2 you're just going to kind of chalk up to a little a comedy of errors on the side of the Mountaineers, but they've done a really good job of bouncing back here. It's going to be a demolition there. It's a double demolition, and Emma is just going to tap it into a wide open net. Really well played there from the side of WVU, getting 2 demolitions nearly, I believe, at the exact same time almost, and Emma just knocks it right in. Her 3rd goal of the match.
Yeah, Emma gets her hat trick. I think Hira almost stole it. Great teammate play, though, from Hira, not stealing that goal. You want to see those teammates get along.
Yep, and we know how important it is for these players. They just want to win. They don't really care who gets the goals as long as it goes in the back of the net. Hira showed that there. Now the Mountaineers going to have another chance here to maybe kind of find a goal. Hira has yet to find a goal this game with Duffy has 2. Emma has 3. Hira come out over the left side, going to try and find the touch. The angle just a little bit off there. And now Jamestown, what is the plan with 53 seconds left? Needing to find 4 goals here. I think that says even to force overtime. Emma coming off the top, let the ball get away from her a little bit. Duffy's going to center it, but there's no Mountaineer there available. And now Jamestown's going to have to try and find something really fast if they want a chance, but there might just be a time issue at this point. Do they have enough time even to find these 4 goals? Creed's going to try and find something here over the left, looking for a center, but it's just not going to be there. 30 seconds left. It is all but over.
If you're Jamestown, you need a miracle at this point because you are down 4 with 20 seconds left. It would take something that we have never seen. And they get their first, or their second in the game. Knock it down to 3.
They get the first of the 4 that they need to cut it to at least force overtime, but with 19 seconds left, the Mountaineers, we have seen a couple kickoff goals from the side of James Madison, especially in game 2, so I guess obviously nothing's impossible, but I just think, with the time, it might actually be impossible at this point, and now it certainly is. Hira's just going to ride it out towards that net. Oh my goodness! Hira and Emma connect at the top with a little bit of a tap down into that left post. Right it back into the back of the net. The Mountaineers extend their lead back to 4. It's an excellent job there from Hira and Emma. Just a little love tap up there above the net. And that will seal the deal for the Mountaineers. They are going to win their round 5 of Swiss 2-1 against the Jamestown Jimmies.
Yeah, Jamestown might get a few consolation goals at this point. They got their first consolation goal. Now with 3 seconds left, doesn't seem like they'll get another, but they'll knock it down the field. And, you know, Mountaineers going to come out with a nice 6-2 win. It appears could be 6-3.
Are they going to try and find a 7th, actually? Duffy's going to have a wide open chance here. Duffy's going to ride it home, and it's going to be 7-2. The Mountaineers, another 5-goal victory. Duffy just had to make sure that there was no chance of a comeback.
Yeah,
got to respect it.
Duffy gets the hat trick on his birthday. That's a nice birthday present for him.
It certainly is. It's going to be a double hat trick from the side of the Mountaineers. Duffy and Emma both finding 2. Emma has a score of 873.
Emma with 3 goals, 3 assists, 3 saves. She's going for that triple 3.
So, with the exception of an extremely weird game 2, the Mountaineers are going to coast to a fairly easy 2-1 victory over the Jamestown Jimmies, improving to 4-1 in the Swiss round of Varsity Plus. They are going to have a game, and I believe it started at 9, but I believe it's going to attempt to start a little bit earlier. So we will be live with that once we know the opponent, once we know the match time. So good win for the Mountaineers.
This is a great win for the Mountaineers. Obviously, you have that game 2 where you just didn't perform very well, but you dominate game 1, you dominate game 3, and they come out 2-1 winners over Jamestown. You're going into the next game that you have around, I believe it's going to be rescheduled to 8:30 or so. They're going to come in with momentum, 2-game win streak, and just try to continue that momentum and continue on with this great team.
The Mountaineers trying to secure another 2-0 day here in the Swiss round. We will be back in just a little bit with their final game of the day. We will see you then.